Hi. So I have to talk about my progress with employment is not much because now I cannot find my social security card. So employment places require that. Also a current identification card. Mine are expired. I had some pending from Department of Homeland Security pending to arrive since 2022. They've not arrived. Um, so I haven't had um, enough um, stamina to do more than wait in the mail for the card. Um, Now being almost 2026, plus being mostly immobilized, I suspect someone has stolen the permanent resident card with that name on there. That was a fake wedding um, scam, and I was actually wondering why. What Department of Homeland Security says that violence against women investigations can make a woman not born here live here with so many restrictions about employment, about intimate relations. So, um, don't know who has the card, where the um, where to go to talk to someone about this. Um, so that's the reason I'm saying these things here, I guess, to identify myself. Because I don't know why my closest family member says that if I simply approach any people around to ask for chores they might have that I could do for them, that okay, that's not a good way. So I have to have an employment authorization, current identification card. Now the social security card that's missing. Um, I'm an honest person. I'm an honest individual, and I am thinking that um, saying this to anonymous viewers could help. There any comments or questions? I'll explain more. So I don't know, the permanent resident card was attached to a wedding that is attached to a false birth certificate. Those all those declarations I made myself in writing through inspections in the mail. The letters were inspected by the Department of Corrections, who are linked to the Pomona courthouse, the Superior Courthouse. So um, it's not as if they have not known. They were just very blatantly not adhering to their statutes that were supposed to say, ma'am, your birth certificate is fake, as you have written here to your imprisoned husband. So, on both those counts, ma'am, you are not eligible for this petition. And besides that, you need help with acquiring a real birth certificate. I was counting on another agency to do that for me because trying to wiggle away myself from those situations I was in, I could not. So I thought I have to rely on the strangers um to save me away from that union and from the other union with the step family, because since I was a teenager I tried to run away and I was told I have to stay here by the policeman sheriffs, people in uniforms, police and sheriff, they say I have to stay with my parents until I'm 18, regardless of fake birth certificate or immigration status. So by the time I was 16, I'm pregnant. I was now um, a mother and chose to stay here at least until my son is 18 years old, um, with limited employment opportunities, you know. So that was my plan, my agreement with the Jehovah Witness organization. My son's dad um, came crying to me for a wedding in 2008. I could not say yes because I could only, at the time, my religious convictions were that only marry within the religion, and within the religion, I did not want to marry. I would make an exception for him because he's my son's father. So he said he would try to convert. I thought about that. A year later, I called, so we eloped. While we were on our way to eloping, I've already recounted what happened because we didn't really know one another anymore. Only we had a son, a 9-year-old son in common that we weren't with together as parents ever, except for the first year of my son's life. So we were like strangers. So a month and a half later, he had gone to jail and later on to prison, was away for about a year. And so, see, I had been relying, because he was appealing to my heart to trick me into signing a paper. The religion I believed in, the God I believed in, I felt could not be tricked. And so, in my everlasting life was dependent on simply, following these nonsensical rituals, perhaps. Like, I didn't have a problem with that. So I could not sign a document for a wedding to get a permanent resident card. I could only sign a wedding contract based on true love and desire in life to have the same goals. And so, seeing as that was not the case between us, I still had to, send the application and wait on them to reject and help. Instead, the violence against women folks said after my body hit his head, because first he had hurt me physically in 2009, a month after our wedding, and then my body hurt. Based on that first injury, the VAWA, Violence Against Women Act, said add a year to the marriage. So the marriage was supposed to end in 2012, and I was supposed to get a permanent resident card. Instead, mental illness arrived, and my son's dad's head was hurt with my body. So then I went to jail about that, and the Violence Against Women Act, instead of making a divorce, they said now you have to stay married, filed married for 10 more years until 2022. So in 2022, we went to the hearing, the immigration hearing, and it was determined that I could stay in this country legally instead of being deported because my body was used to hurt my son's dad's head. So, that incident with his head happened in 2012. Now the year is almost 2026, and the immigration attorney had said in 2022, after we won the case, that I'm on a criminal track. And so, because of that, they would withhold the permanent resident card for another 2 or 3 years. So, strange phenomena around me. I feel, I suspect that somebody else maybe has that card and has now taken the Social Security card and are maybe running around somewhere in the United States doing something um, with my what was initiated attached to my body. So about employment, I know the people here know me locally, and I still don't have the liberty to ask them directly for employment, so I don't know what to do except say these things that I'm nice. I'm not. I'm. I don't know what else to say because this is too anonymous. Warm greetings, questions, comments are appreciated. Thank you for listening.